Joe,
Hi, Tim.
how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Pretty good. We got Jesse here too.
Right on.
Woo, that's good. There we go. Nice. How are things?
Great. How are you? How's your recording session?
It was good. We recorded like four new tunes, drums, bass, guitar, and yeah, just the like rhythm section.
Cool. So you were doing stuff for your third album already today?
Yeah, we've already recorded four other songs for it as well. So we're about eight songs in, like the rhythm tracks.
That's great. Um, so your second album comes out October 25th. What's the new name for that one?
Out on the coast.
Okay. Um, so it's just been like a little more than a year since your debut on Coal Mine Records, and now you're already recording songs for the third one. Can you keep up the record a year pace?
We might take a little longer with this one. I think we'll probably record 25 songs and then figure out what we want to do with them.
Okay. What do you do with the ones that you don't uh, put on the final record?
So far we've only got a couple of those, and we'll probably redo them. Just didn't get good takes that time, but we'll just recut it.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys can keep up that album a year pace because your music's so dope, and other similar bands aren't as prolific. So if you guys can fill the void of the instrumental jazz, funk, soul vibe that I love so much, then that'd be great.
Yeah. I'm just gotta keep writing, I guess.
um, like, what's your creative process like? How would you describe how you guys write songs and go about recording them?
Let's hear from Jesse a little bit. He's here too.
Okay. Hey, Jesse.
Um, well, the idea is that we like to collaborate a lot. So um, we'll have a weekly rehearsal and just either tighten up things for a show or we'll bring new ideas in.
Okay.
So a lot of times Tim will have something, say a groove or something, and he's like, "Hey, write some horns." So I'm like, the sax player in the band.
Okay.
And so I'll come back to him with something I write, and then we kind of tweak it from there. And maybe he'll say, "Oh, well, maybe this line, I like this line, but maybe it's a little too busy. Let's scrap a few notes, or."
Okay.
So we'll work on it very much as a collaboration.
Okay. Does any instrument kind of like drive the composition?
Well, I guess because we have a large horn section, a lot of the melodies have tended to be horn melodies, although we do a few keyboard and a few guitar melodies, but the horns definitely drive most of it.
Okay.
And a lot of the compositions are they're kind of based on the different styles that we want to hit. So let's say um, Tim might come to me, or I might think of a tune. Man, I haven't, we haven't written an Afrobeat tune
Okay.
in a while. Let's write something like that, or
Yeah.
something that just comes out of necessity. Hey, let's balance out our set with another soul tune. Okay, so we'll work on that.
Cool. That's great. Do you think you guys will have a coast to coast USA tour for this album?
Um, I don't think we're well enough known to do that yet. I'm not lose a bunch of money. I would like to, but hotel rooms, food, gas, it's all expensive.
Right. What would it take to make that happen? Like, business wise, how would everything have to line up for you guys to be able to tour the whole country?
It will have to be in the summertime because Jesse's he's getting his master's degree. So, I imagine that would be a 2 month, like a 6 or 8 week tour, and we just have to. People need to find out who we are so that talent buyers and club owners would be willing to take the risk booking us, you know?
Okay.
So that's what it takes, I'd say, is, you know, we just need to be able to fill 200 or 250 person rooms, you know?
Okay. Like, how would you describe yourself to a promoter or venue owner? Like, what's your pitch to get them to book you?
Oh,
Okay.
look at me.
No, I can answer this one. You know, it's party music, but it's psychedelic, it's thoughtful. Um, but you know, it's upbeat, funky dance music, but instrumental. You know, that's the other thing that's kind of a tough sell is being an instrumental. Generally, people like vocals,
Right.
but in that sense, we as a band have to work that much harder, like to really sell just the grooves. Like it's got to groove so hard that
Right.
people don't notice that there's not vocals.
Right.
And a lot of people have told us that, like, man, you guys are just killing. Like, it didn't bother me that there's no vocals or anything like that. It's just grooves like super hard, and I had a great time, you know. So we definitely strive for that. We definitely strive for, just giving the hardest beats and the hardest grooves that we can. Not so much just to make up for a lack of a vocalist, but just to make sure that the crowd gets just as pumped as any other show.
Right. Yeah, I mean that comes through on your records, exactly what you're saying. So hopefully more people get turned on to that. Speaking of vocalists, who sang the song on the Meters cover that you guys did?
Oh, that's Monophonics vocalist Kelly Finnegan.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that guy's good. He's got a great voice.
Oh yeah, and he sat in with us recently up in San Francisco. It was a great time. We did that tune and another tune.
Are those going to be on the new record, or was that just a one-off?
Yeah, that's just a B-side. Maybe it'll be on. Maybe we'll throw it on the third album.
Okay. Yeah, that sounded dope.
Thanks, man.
So, if you guys could play any venue in the world, what would it be?
Oh wow. Well, I haven't really traveled in Europe or Japan or Australia, so I can't speak about that. But speaking from my limited knowledge, I would say I'd want to. I mean, we were just talking about this earlier. I want to play at Jazz Fest in New Orleans.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Jazz Fest is something that we aspire to. But all I definitely want this band to hit all the big venues, the legendary venues. Like for me on the East Coast, I think of the Brooklyn Bowl.
Yeah.
I think on the West Coast, the Fillmore. We're so close to it every time. I would love to actually play there.
Yeah, we played a venue that's across the street, the Boom Boom Room.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. That place is cool. I like it.
Yeah, we have a great time there.
And if you could play at any festival in the world, what would it be?
The whole world? Well, I want to start by playing High Sierra in California.
That's on my bucket list of festivals to go to that I've never been to.
Yeah, from what I hear, it's like Jazz Fest in the wilderness.
Right. Have you guys ever played at Stone Brewing World?
I've played like a New Year's gig there with not with this band I played there a couple times with another band. Yeah, they don't really host bands regularly. It's more of a special occasion.
Okay. I just got back from a little brewery tour of Columbus Brewing Company in Columbus, Ohio, and there was a little mini beer fest today for a special IPA release. And then I saw on the Facebook page that you guys had an Amplified Aleworks Sure Fire Rye IPA. What was that like?
Oh, that was really good. It was malty and hoppy. And what'd you think of it, Jesse?
Oh, I really loved it. I'm not a huge hops fan, and my girlfriend certainly isn't. But she loved it, and so did I. It was a really well balanced beer for all the different palates, and especially being in San Diego, it was just hoppy enough for the really diehard IPA fans.
Right.
You know, but not too much that you could appeal to a wide audience. And we definitely made it, or try to have it that way. You know, working with the guys from Amplified.
Oh, cool. Is there any left? There's a one keg deal.
They did like 10 kegs, and no, I think it's gone.
Good.
Is it really gone? Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Woo.
Good job. How would you describe the Southern California funk scene?
Well, the bands that are around right now are on fire. A lot, Orgone and Jungle Fire from LA.
Yep.
I'm probably falling short on a couple. Who else we got? Soul Scratch.
Soul Scratch, yeah.
Beat Mosaic is a really cool group that we play with as well.
Mm-hmm.
In San Diego, who's around here?
Some bands that have kind of come and gone. I think of like a band called the Earful. They did really well. Style Tones were big. You know, we're in San Diego scene for many years.
Okay.
But you know, San Diego and Southern California has always been the kind of place that like a great little nurturing ground for bands that end up doing bigger things. I mean, Karl Denson came from here, you know.
Right.
So
Greyboy Allstars.
Yeah, Greyboy Allstars. Yeah, San Diego born.
Yeah, that was something I wanted to touch on. Like, I like the flute sound and instrumental funk, and you know, like I think Karl Denson kind of turned me onto that sound, and you guys do it really well too. How do you incorporate the funky flutes in your music? How do you get it in there and make it sound so cool?
You know, it's just a matter of creating the right vibe, man. Like you can't just try to force it into some piece of music. It's gotta you really gotta fit it in there. And once you play, man, you gotta sell it. Like I'm the guy that plays the flute, and
Okay.
you know, like once you're playing it, you got to sell it to people, and they know you're right. The audience knows like whether you're really into playing the flute or not. So yeah, like I worked for a long time listening to Karl and how he does it, and a lot of other great like jazz flute players. And the one thing that I came away with is that they just really love that instrument. They love playing the flute so much that it translates to the audience. You know, so that's super cool about it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little cherry on top of the funk. You know, it's like a special surprise that you got to do it right, and it just comes off. It's something really unique and harmonious and special that makes the song different than any other kind of song, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tim, what kind of organ do you play?
I've got a Hammond B3. It's a A100, which is just a B3 in a different case, and I've got Farfisa mini compact. Yeah, those are the two organs that I have. And then I've got electric pianos, Rhodes, Wurlitzer, clavinet.
Okay, wow. Do you tour with a Hammond B3? Is it too big to carry around?
I take it locally. The band gets annoyed having to load it. It takes 4 people to put it on a stage, but I think they appreciate the sound. But yeah, I don't take it out of town. Some clubs that we play have Hammonds, which is cool.
Oh wow. Who are your Hammond heroes?
Hammond heroes?
Yeah.
Probably Jimmy Smith, McGriff, Lonnie Smith, Booker T.
Yeah.
Art Neville.
How'd you get into the Hammond sound? Like, did you start playing piano as a kid? Like, did your parents make you take piano lessons? Then you just Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, well, yeah, piano lessons, and then I fell in love with the Beastie Boys instrumental stuff. So definitely Money Mark from Beastie Boys was a big influence, and I got a Hammond M3, which is like a smaller version of a B3. When I was 19, I had that at my apartment in San Diego for a little bit. That was really cool, and just watching Greyboy Allstars, Robert Walter play, and there was a local band here called Pocket. Keyboard player Ben Moore, who was really good. There was a lot of inspiration there.
Okay. Did you like take lessons as a kid? How did you learn piano and?
Oh yeah, I had the classical lessons starting at age 7 or 8 for about 6 years.
Okay. So it's like speaking for yourself and for the other guys in the band. Like, how did you guys get into music? Were you in the high school band? Did your parents push you into it as like a small kid? Did you just discover it later because you love music and you wanted to play an instrument? How did you guys come about it?
Well, yeah, my parents, they got me into it, but I loved it. I practiced all the time, and then classical piano got a little too nerdy for me once I got into middle school. So I started playing drums and got into like punk rock, uh, hardcore punk rock. So I was
Cool.
doing that, then came back, and then I started getting into hip hop, Wu Tang and Tribe Called Quest and that kind of stuff. And then that brought me back to soul music, and I heard the organs and the electric pianos in there. I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I think my experience with that, like um, playing saxophone, I was totally like any other kid. You play in junior high and in your little middle school band, and you just kind of come up and I loved it so much that I continued to study in college and really like I was super drawn to oldies. My dad, I came from LA, and there's a radio station in LA, KRS 101, that like plays nothing but, or back then they played nothing but oldies, but like Motown, and especially I loved all like the cool Motown saxophone solos, listening to Junior Walker play, and so when I really got a little better and I started studying jazz, Coltrane, and Charlie Parker and stuff like that, I always had on the side, you know, uh, my JB's album and
Okay.
listening to
Cool.
Maceo, like that. I loved Maceo, and like I always wanted to play like him. When I finally saw him in concert, I was just over gone head over heels.
That's cool.
But yeah, so like my uh, coming up, there was the regular saxophone, jazz saxophone lineage, thinking of like Coltrane and guys like that, but then also that funk, like I couldn't get away from it. So I love playing this band because I get to do that stuff for sure.
Be fun.
Yeah.
Like, what motivates and impels you guys to keep creating cool music and keep going?
I I just throw on drum loops and jam out to them. I love the studio. I love the creative process. Um, yeah, it's just fun. It's
Yep.
just fun to create something and share it with other people, and see their reaction, and they see our reaction, and it's just like symbiotic relationship, I think.
Yeah, that's great. Um, how do you guys describe the economic realities of making it financially as an independent band?
It's it's really hard. That's why our tours usually last for 3 days, and we stay with like family and friends. And our longest tour was 5 or 6 days. Um, when it went up to like Bend, Oregon, and back. It's just where we're at. Not being super well known. It's a bit of a challenge having an 8 or 9 piece band
Mm-hmm.
go out, and we come home with tens of dollars instead of thousands of dollars.
Oh man.
But I think one of the main things is that we really try not to compromise the band. A lot of guys, they'll have their big ensemble, and then they'll really cut it down like when they're on the road and they're on tour.
Okay.
We pretty much like have our full band when we go out, at least two horns, uh, percussion and drums and all that stuff, because we want to keep it as authentic to our listeners like as we can.
Right. That's good. What are your day jobs?
um, I work at the PBS affiliate here in San Diego, KPBS, and I teach piano lessons, and I teach at the community college, and I'm a recording engineer.
Right on.
So yeah, a bunch of stuff.
But it's all fun music related stuff.
Yes, I feel very lucky to be able to work in music.
Yeah, and I do the same thing, like full time music. But right now, I'm actually a full time graduate student up in Los Angeles at California at Cal Arts.
Oh, right on.
So, but like before that, I just gig a lot here in town. I got to play with the symphony this summer, which was awesome. So a lot of the guys that we play with in the band are actually like pretty accomplished musicians that have been doing a lot of other cool projects for many years.
Nice. How did you guys form? How did all the 8 guys meet and get together?
Man, it was I made some demos, probably like 6 or 7 songs, and then just from other bands and seeing other groups from around town, just started bringing people in. I played in an Afrobeat group with Jesse called In Motion Collective, and he was killing it on the sax, so we got him involved, and we've had a few band members not make it out. They couldn't last, so oh well.
That's the nature of the game.
The nature of the game sometimes. Yeah.
Do you have a core group now that you think will, you'll stick with it?
Oh yeah. We have a pretty strong core group now. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Great. So now you guys are on the fabulous independent label Coal Mine Records. How does that relationship work between the band and the label?
As far as
like, do they pay for your marketing and studio time like a major label would? Like, do they help you get heard? Like, what's a small label do for you guys versus a major label, or just doing it on your own?
A small label is going to help you out. You're gonna be stocked with all the records that you can possibly sell. He's really come through in that aspect. We're never out of any of our releases. And as far as promo, he sends a lot of promos out, and pretty much I would say promo and just being stocked with merch to sell at the shows.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I love their whole stable, and like they're a prolific label that's doing a lot of cool, funky stuff lately. And
oh yeah,
they just keep adding more cool groups.
Yeah, it's Terry and Bob are handling it for sure.
Yeah. Like, in a perfect world, how would you get more people turned on to, eclectic music that you guys play?
Well, I guess we just probably need to be played everywhere. And all the good radio shows. I don't know. Jazz radio is probably not going to be where, but I don't know. We've had good luck with the write-ups from the station in Portland, so I'm sure there's some good jazz stations out there that have funky jazz shows.
We also get airplay here in San Diego.
Good.
A lot of times through 92.5, Magic 92.5 will play some of our stuff because it's so similar. It's got that, that 60s cruising sound that they're all about,
Okay.
That sometimes Javier the X-Man will play our stuff, and he loves our stuff. We've had a chance to be interviewed by him and have him interact with him and have him play our music, and hopefully we'll get a little more of that with the next coming album.
But yeah, I would say our music needs to be in film or TV or something like that. That's probably gonna get us heard more than radio or whatever else. That's what we need.
Yeah. Yeah, like, that saying, be the change, like of like the what you want to see in the world, be the change. Like, if I would want to see a funkier world, I want to see a world where people listen to funky music and instrumental music, and music was heart and soul, and it's where you hear it in a sports bar, or like when you go to the mall or something, you hear like
sure,
cool funk music.
We probably just need Jay-Z to sample us, to tell you the truth, and
Yeah.
then it'll take off.
Right. What's the local scene like in San Diego? Do you guys play like every Friday and Saturday night and pack the house in a local bar or something?
We had a few monthly gigs for a while that went really well, um, but Jesse's up in LA now, and after doing that for a few years, you kind of feel like, all right, maybe we've reached that saturation point, and we want people. I mean, no shows were no cover too, so we did that for a few years. People could come see us for free, and then we kind of took that away, and now people pay to see us play.
Good. That's better.
Yeah.
But there's a really good scene here. There's a bunch of places you can go to and see bands for free that are good. There's a bunch of good jazz musicians here in San Diego. There's a bunch of reggae, a bunch of good rock bands. So it's happening here.
What's the best place to go out? Like I went there on vacation once a few years ago, and I liked Ocean Beach and Pacific Beach, and there was like downtown area. What's the good music spot?
We love Winston's in Ocean Beach. That's kind of the reggae jam funk hub of San Diego. It's like a 250 person room, and then there's the Casbah, which is near downtown San Diego, which does more rock type stuff, but all kinds of bands play there too. And the Belly Up Tavern up in Solana Beach has some of the bigger touring bands. That's like a 800 person room.
Oh, really?
There's a hip part of town called North Park, where there's a lot of bars, no cover spots where you can see local bands play.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
For sure.
So what else should the world know about the Sure Fire Soul Ensemble?
Well, honestly, we genuinely love this music. We're not doing this as any kind of gimmick. We're not just trying to relive the glory days of some music gone by. It's like we're trying to create a fresh sound that comes from a really strong lineage, of amazing music that goes so unnoticed, or has gone unnoticed in the past, and now we're just trying to move forward with that and do our own thing and really bring it to a modern time and just have everybody have a good time. Everybody's so stressed out these days. This music is feel good music. It really is. You don't have to think about it. You just put it on and you just groove to it, and as long as someone is bobbing their head, then it's all good.
Right. Yeah, I think that's the perfect description. Like that's when I hear your record, that's how it makes me feel. It's fresh and unique. It's it sounds fresh and modern and distinctive, and yet it's based on like 70s funk and soul jazz, but it's not derivative. It's something totally new and exciting, and you can dance to it, you can groove to it, hang out. Like when it came out last year, it made my year. Like came out like halfway through the year, I think. And like I thought the first half of last year was kind of like weak as far as new releases, and then your album came out and I was blown away. And then there was like a whole like tidal wave of awesome releases that came out after it, but your first album stayed as one of my favorites of the whole 2015, and so thank you guys for putting out such great music.
Yeah, thanks for saying so. We really appreciate your support, and yeah, everyone that's bought our record. It feels good to share something and people dig it, and thanks to everyone that comes to our shows and tells their friends about us. Can't do it without the music lovers.
Right. Well, thanks for taking the time, fellas. It was great to talk music with you, and I can't wait to hear the new album, Out on the Coast. Comes out October 25th, right?
October 21st.
Okay, October 21st. Out on the Coast on Coal Mine Records.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Yeah, nice to meet you, Joe. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.